I 24 female had been with my fiancé 27 male for 4 years, and he proposed to me on my birthday last year. I always thought our relationship was great, and that we were unstoppable, but I guess that was wrong. Usually, he has always let me use his phone, games, or because my phone would be screwed up. Recently, he was being very distant and even getting upset if I asked for his phone. We're always open about our phones, and if the other would like to be sure if we haven't been disloyal, we were both okay with it. I shrugged it off as maybe he's planning something for my birthday since it's coming up. A couple days ago, he asked me if we could try opening up the relationship. This took me by surprise because he's never been the type to get physical or emotional with anyone else but me. I tell him that I'm uncomfortable with the thought of that, and he kept explaining how it could build us up emotionally to see other people's perspectives on how we can improve our love. I continued telling him no and saying that it doesn't feel right. I never wanted to be with anyone else but him. He has been trying to convince me for the past day, but I didn't budge. He ended up saying whatever and going on a walk for a couple hours. When he left, I cried my eyes out because it made me think he wasn't being loyal. Unlucky for him, he had left his phone on the counter in the kitchen, so I took it upon myself to check. To my horror, I saw my worst nightmare. He was messaging a coworker, we'll call her Kim, for a couple weeks. Messages saying, "I love you," and let's plan a little date together. I cried and continued reading. I saw that they were trying to plan a way to leave me or get an open relationship started. Seeing as though the open relationship plan failed, they started saying that he should leave me and they can be in an open relationship. I'm so hurt and distraught by this. I thought he would be with me through thick and thin. Not to mention, I have a daughter, 6, that has absolutely loved him and thought of him as her dad. I'm crushed and betrayed for both me and my daughter. She was going to be our flower girl and have the prettiest dress, and now I have to tell her everything. My worst nightmare is coming to fruition, and I can't stop crying. I'm trying to be strong for her, but it's so hard. As I type this, I'm watching my daughter play with her dolls while watching Tiv, and my fiancé is upstairs playing a game. For now, I'm thinking of my next steps and staying strong for my girl. Edit. I know it's only been a couple hours, but thank you everyone for your support so far. I'm taking everyone's advice and I do plan on leaving. I'm going to come up with a plan to put all of his stuff out while he's working one day and completely cut him out. Also, a couple questions I've seen that I should clarify on. With his messages, he had asked me a couple days ago to open the relationship and I told him no. I should have clarified that for the past day, he had been nonstop pestering me over opening the relationship. My fault. At the time of writing, I was so distraught. After asking me the first time, he told Kim what my answer was and Kim had said, "You should just leave at this point, etc." But he thought it was best to keep trying to convince me. Like I said, that was my bad. It was mostly Kim saying that he should leave. Also, some people may be confused at him leaving his phone while he left. We live in a wide open rural area, and usually when he needs to blow off steam, he goes through the backyard and to the woods that's a little down the yard. I never had a need to check his phone, but I trusted him at that time. He usually left to blow off steam or something. Again, I'm so sorry for any confusion during my distraught time of writing this. And thank you again. Update. So my previous post has blown up a bit, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for the kind words, messages, and advice. I'm definitely not getting back with him, and last night, while he slept in our bed, I messaged his sister, whom he doesn't have much good relationship with anyways. Everything, and even sent her the screenshots. She was super apologetic, and even said that she'll help me get all of his stuff packed and out of my house. I inherited this house from my grandfather when he passed away. Tomorrow he goes into work, and that's when I'll be packing all of his stuff and sending his $1 out the door. To everyone that was concerned about my daughter, I spoke with her this morning. We went to Starbucks together, and I told her that me and him were going to separate. I told her in a lighter way, but this was a summary of what I said. She looked deeply upset, but said that she understands, and sometimes things don't work out. She hugged me, and we had hot chocolate and cake pops together. I didn't tell her why we were breaking up, just said that it wasn't in the stars. So far today, me and her have just been playing and enjoying ourselves. I cried when we got home, and she just gave me a kiss on the cheek and said, "I'll always love you, Mommy." I'm just sobbing my eyes out because I'm so happy and thankful to have the sweetest little girl on the planet. Sorry for any confusion in this post, if any. I'll be sure to update when all of this is said and done. Until then, I'm going to give my daughter my full attention today and laugh and play together. Update 2. So first off, around 6 a.m. when my ex had left, I texted his sister and a few friends to help move his stuff out. They got here after I had put my daughter on the bus for school, so between 8 to 9 a.m. We went in and got everything. All of his clothes, shoes, etc., and boxed it up and put it outside. We had finally gotten done around 2 p.m. He doesn't have much stuff, and the stuff he has that I bought that aren't clothes, I'm keeping to do whatever I please with it. After we were done, his sister said that their parents were on standby after hearing what happened. I had made the group chat with his family while we were doing all the packing, and to say they were livid is an understatement. I also emailed his boss an AIR member. Every department where he works is assigned an AIR member. They thanked me and said they will handle this accordingly. Then the show starts. I see his truck pulled in the driveway and he looked pissed. He got out and slammed his door, cursing me out for him getting in trouble. Luckily my friends, 2 of them were guys, had gotten between us so he didn't do anything. He was screaming at me and his sister, calling us witches and screaming at me more, saying that he was only trying to improve our relationship. I told him I didn't care what he had to say, I wanted him gone. He huffed and then started asking where my daughter was so that he can speak with her. I didn't tell him that instead of riding the bus home, my dad picked her up. I let the school and bus driver know in advance. I told her that he was not speaking to my daughter and I want him gone. He got enraged and lunged towards me. My friends had held him back away from me, and that's when I called his parents, because I knew he wouldn't leave easily. They came and started curing at him, saying that they didn't raise him this way, and that he is going to now be officially disowned. Meaning he was cut out of the wills and everything. He ended up just having a hissy fit on the ground like a little kid, stomping and screaming that I couldn't do this to him, and that he still loves me. I told him I don't care, leave. Eventually, his parents made him get his boxes and leave. As he was leaving, he told me, "I swear I'll be back. I swear." I laughed and just walked back into my house. I'm working on getting a restraining order set in place, and I hope to never see him or his lover ever again. My daughter is staying with my parents for the week to be sure that in case him or his lover come back, she won't see anything she shouldn't see. So far, nothing has happened, and I got a brand new security system being set up as well as a Ring camera. If anything happens, I'll post another update, but hopefully it won't be anything bad. Story 2. My girlfriend left me on the day I was proposing without any explanation. This is a throwaway account and all names are fake. The story includes me 28 male, mine, now ex, girlfriend Elise, and her best friends Leah, 27 female, and David, 27 male. Elise and I had been together for 3 years and living together for 1.5 years. Our relationship was very strong and we were madly in love. All of our friends always used to say that we were a perfect couple. Our communication was strong and we had everything planned in our lives. I told her that I won't be marrying her before I get a job that pays well enough to build our family, and she agreed. Well, I got a very good job 2 months ago, and we started planning our lives together. Our plan was to get married in the next year or 2, buy a house, and then have kids when we have more financial stability. She also started dropping hints that I should propose. I was already planning to propose, so I started researching for rings, proposal venues, etc. This is when I contacted Leah and asked her to meet me and keep it a secret. I told her my plans, and she confirmed that Elise would love this and also gave me some suggestions which I loved. Lee also included David, as the three of them were best friends since childhood and knew each other very well. They also helped me pick the ring. The plan was to rent a cabin surrounded by nature and wilderness, as Elise likes that a lot. I rented the cabin, and on Friday, I took the day off without telling my girlfriend and met up with Leah and David and one of my friends to set up everything. I gave instructions to my friend about how I wanted everything to be set up, as he was supposed to go there the next day before us and set up everything: flowers, cameras, etc. I went back home after that and ordered Elise's favorite takeout. We talked about her day and then went to bed. Now, a week ago, Lee had invited Elise for brunch on Saturday, proposal day, at a new fancy place, the proposal location. She emphasized that the place was fancy so that Elise wouldn't get suspicious of Leah asking her to wear a nice dress. On Saturday morning, Leah and David came to our apartment to pick up Elise. As soon as they left, I called a friend of mine who was waiting just around the corner, and I left soon after. Then I called my other friend, who was supposed to be at the cabin, and asked him how everything was going. He assured me that everything was set up exactly how I wanted it. I had also asked David to share their location and to drive slowly or take a longer route so that I can get there 10 to 15 minutes before them. I realized David hadn't shared the location, but it was fine. We got there, and I just ran in to change into a suit. Then I went to the exact position and checked the camera angles. Everything was perfect. Then I waited for my girlfriend and her friends to arrive. The drive is 30 to 40 minutes from our apartment, and they should have been there. I thought they went slightly overboard with stalling. I waited there for another 20 minutes. It had already been more than an hour since they left the apartment, and I was getting worried, so I asked one of my friends to call David and sneakily ask how long it'll take them. They called him 2 to 3 times, but no answer. Then they called Leah 2 to 3 times. No answer. I assumed the worst. I called David and Leah as well. Still no answer. Finally, I decided to call Elise. First call, she didn't answer. My heart was racing at this point. As soon as I called her again, Leah answered instead. I was panicking and asked her if everything was all right, and why is nobody answering the phone. She went silent for 2 seconds and then started yelling at me. She told me to never call Liz ever again, and that I was dead to her. That I was a horrible human being for doing that to her. That she doesn't want to see my face or talk to me ever again. I was confused, but before I could say anything, she hung up. I was so confused and started crying, and my friends had to console me. Soon after that, I got a text from Leah that she'll be coming over later with David to get Elise's stuff, and that Elise doesn't even want to step into the apartment, even if I'm not there. I immediately called her parents to ask what was going on. They knew about the proposal, and we were supposed to go to their home for lunch after the proposal. They had no clue what was going on, and told me that they'll call her and ask. I got a call from them 10 minutes later saying that they called Elise, and she told them that she can't talk right now, and she'll call them later. They were also confused about all this. I was devastated, and I didn't know what to do. My friends took me back to my apartment, and we hung out. David and Leah came over in the evening to take Elise's stuff. My friends and I tried to talk to them, but they didn't say anything. They just asked me where Elise's stuff was and just took some of it and said they'll be back for the rest. They also reiterated that if I tried contacting Elise again, I'll be reported for harassment. At that moment, I just wanted to cry because just the thought of me harassing my girlfriend was overwhelming. After they left, my friends told me that they think I shouldn't be alone right now, and they were staying the night, and won't take no for an answer. We stayed up and talked till 4 a.m. last night, and then everyone went to bed. I wasn't able to sleep, and I've been just thinking about every potential reason for Elise's behavior. But I don't have any answers. The only scenario I can think of is that Elise was cheating on me, and somehow she realized I was gonna propose, and she freaked out and told her friends that she can't do this because I cheated on her. This still doesn't make sense, but it's the closest thing to an explanation I have right now. I know it's a horrible thing to think about. Today was supposed to be the first day of our engaged life together. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some answers from her parents if they talk to her. ETA. Been up all night and was going through the comments. I cannot reply to every comment and message, but I just wanted to say that I appreciate all the supportive comments and messages. I don't have any updates yet, but I wanted to add some details for the people speculating. For the people worried about Alyssa's safety, her parents called her yesterday and talked to her briefly. She just said that she's not feeling good right now, and she'll call them in a few days to talk. So apparently she's safe. I've told them to call me as soon as they hear back from her. Also, David is gay, so I don't think there's anything going on romantically between them. For the people saying that I did something wrong, cheat, or physically hurt her, I don't know what to say to you. If I did that, then I won't be losing all my sleep looking for answers. Some people suggested that I don't give Alyssa's stuff to Leah and David, and I think it's a good idea. I'll tell her parents that if they want her stuff, they can either tell Alyssa to get it or come get it themselves. When Leah and David came to get some of her stuff, they just took some clothes and shoes. There are many people who are confused about the timeline. All of this happened 2 days ago on Saturday, not last week. I'll also try to contact Elise. I'll write down everything I can think of and send her an email as I'm blocked on everything else. Also, one of my friends knew Leah before we met. They were colleagues at their old job, and they set us up. So I've asked him to try to find out what's going on from their mutual friend group.